Hello and welcome to a brand new vlog. I am Lucas and today let's talk about mistakes. Firstly, let's address a mistake that I've done in the past month, which is not living up to my promise of 3 videos in a weekend. And that's mainly because I made the mistake of thinking that we were going to some other place outside of Ireland when in fact we stayed in Dublin. And unfortunately, internet is bad all around Ireland, not just in Limerick, not just in the countryside. So the upload still took overnight, and I couldn't do more than 3 videos a day. So sorry about that. Right. So back to the issue. There's been some things happening in my school. I'm not gonna name them, but it happened, and this triggered my thoughts about mistakes. I've done a lot of mistakes in the past, and I just thought, well, it's a nice topic to talk about, and since I haven't posted in the past months or so, let's just make a vlog out of it. Right, so, mistakes. Well, everyone does mistakes in their life, one time or another. I mean, even the most perfect person in the world will do some mistakes. Even the most important people, like celebrities and presidents and political leaders, all these kind of people will some point in their life make tons and tons and tons of mistakes. Like enough mistakes to fill an entire house. What mistakes have I done in the past? There's been a lot of mistakes. Well, first of all, if you've seen some of my previous videos, you probably know about the treadmill accident that I did while I was in China, where I basically set the speed of the treadmill a little bit too high, and then I fell on it, got burned pretty bad. There's still a bit of a scar over here. You may not see it depending on the quality of the camera, but basically I ended up being burnt by the treadmill wheel thing, and I ended up having to go to the hospital very quickly. Luckily, my aunt is a nurse in the hospital, so it's all as well. Another thing is pretty recently, I decided to pull out a pair of headphones out of my bag. A little bit of a mistake putting there in the first place because they broke while I tried to pull them out. And these are some pretty good quality headphones, so I ended up having to try and repair it. Pretty unsuccessful because the amount of pressure you need to put on these headphones is so great that any amount of glue that you put on it will snap, it will break. So basically it means that I've got a pair of headphones that I can't fix with glue, and we're gonna have to add some plating afterwards, but basically I broke them. And referring to people who actually know me personally, they might think, okay, Lucas, your normal life might not be good, but at least your education's pretty good. I mean, you keep getting those high grades. Well, I do mistakes in some exams as well. In one history exam, we were supposed to write 2 essays. Instead, I just wrote one without knowing, and I ended up losing 10 whole marks, or even 20. I'm not sure how many marks that was out of, but basically, it was enough to lose so many marks that I couldn't reach, like, a standard score. So really a big mistake, and it was an end of year exam, so it's not like one of these where you just mess around. It's one of these big exams that you have to pass, or else you're screwed. And I have made tons and tons of mistakes, so many mistakes that if I made an entire video listing every single one of them, you will still be sitting here until Christmas, which is in around 2 months. It has gone to the point where now when I make a mistake, I'm like, oh, okay, I made a mistake. Well, previously it was like, oh my god, that was so stupid. The reason I've changed so much is because I finally learned what mistakes are. What I basically mean is that I finally understood that making mistakes is not bad at all. I mean, everyone does it at some point in their life. Some do more than others, but everyone will do mistakes. It's a guarantee. And honestly, making mistakes isn't half bad. It's like creating those little lessons which you wrap around in paper with a little ribbon on top, and then you open them to finally improve your life and become a better person. Because each mistake you do, you will learn from it and not do the same mistake again. those who do not remember their history is doomed to repeat it, or something like that. And if you're the kind of person that breaks down every time they make a mistake, don't worry. I've got a bunch of tips and tricks that will make you feel better, guaranteed, 100%, foolproof, tested on me, and as you see, I'm always happy. Firstly, after you've done your mistake, think of something positive. For example, video games. Just lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of video games. Because why not? Or if you're not a fan of video games, just think about sports or fashion or potatoes, whatever your best interests are. Secondly, if it still persists in your mind, you can always ask for forgiveness or a second chance. I mean, if you did really bad in an exam, well, you can always ask to redo that exam just for the peace of mind to know that you could have done better, rather than thinking yourself as a really, really big failure. Speaking of failures, never think yourself as one. It's always demoralizing to think that you can never do better than you already are doing. Success is all about trial and error. And if you fail, try again. If the problem still persists at the end of the day, you can always lie in your bed, just relax, drown yourself in your sorrows, and drift away into those sweet, sweet dreams. And when you wake up, all of those mistakes will seem so far away that you won't be able to think of them anymore. It always works, trust me. And finally, the final point. Whatever you do, don't make the same fudging mistake. And good, and that's basically the end of this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it, and I hope you watch another one of my videos. And I shall say to you, goodbye. So, going back to the issue at hand. Oh, fudge.